Life itself is a lesson, and if you get a chance to take the lesson from a teacher or guru, then you are living a blissful life. So, on this auspicious day, I would like to invite our chief guests. Our chief guests don't require an introduction as they are a very well recognized figure in Switzerland. Mr. Otto Odermatt and Mrs. Maria Odermatt, as they have molded the life of students and served people with their kindness. So please put your hands together to welcome our chief guests.
Namaste. Jai
Thank you.
Gurudev.
Thank you so much for your appearance in our show for Guru Purnima 2021. You make something so deeply personal and then present it to the world with an open heart. Please say something about the occasion of Guru Purnima, why we celebrate Guru Purnima, and say something about Maharshi Mahesh Yogi Ji.
Jai Gurudev. Guru Purnima is a special day of the year on which we appreciate our spiritual teacher. And I will read something what Maharishi said to this day with the blessings of Gurudev, his master. Now, in the light of Gurudev's blessings, a very systematic unfoldment of the total field of knowledge came, and waves of knowledge around the world, months after months, year after year, for all these long years. And now, today, we have a direct responsibility, the most delightful responsibility, with the blessings of Gurudev, to continuously spread the light of knowledge to all mankind in a way that suffering belongs to no one, problems belong to no one, dissatisfaction belongs to no one. That preventive quality of administration has been our joy in the light of total knowledge of Gurudev. This was a quote from Maharishi on Guru Purnima, 5th July 2001.
Maharishi said, the universe we know to be an ever-expanding universe. The ever-expanding mechanics of creation and evolution are all very rhythmical, are all very melodious, and this rhythm and melody is the field of Gandharva Veda. And for Gandharva Veda musicians, it's very, very important that they do transcendental meditation. This very simple and natural meditation, because the experience of the unified field, the home of all the laws of nature, the home of music, Atma, the universal soul, is very important for the Gandharva musician, so that they really experience Yogastha Kuru Karmani, established in being, perform music. Established in being, Shruti, very nice. Thank you very much that we could express this, and we wish you a very, very beautiful Guru Purnima. Be happy, do music, meditation, music, meditation, music, that everything, the whole life will be in accord with all the laws of nature. Jai Gurudev.
घर जिया मन पपीहा बोलना मन पपीहा बोलना पी पी तरस बेला तू घर जिया तरस बेला मन पपीहा बोलना मन पपीहा बोलना पिया दरस बेला Hope you are enjoying our show. Now we are eager to listen to our main artist's performance on this memorable day, who is none other than our beloved Pandit Ken Zuckerman, a professor of Ali Akbar College of Music in Basel. We will have a brief interview session with him. Then, the father figure of our organization, Maestro Swapan Chaudhuri and Professor Ken Zuckerman's performance will start. So please stay with us and enjoy our show. A very good morning, Pandit Ken Zuckerman ji. Shuv Guru Purnima. I'm Shruti from SurSwarang organization.
Thank you for inviting me.
So how are you doing today? What is the weather in your city, Basel?
I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine, thank you. Yes. The sun is shining right now. A little break from our rainy weather.
You were born and brought up in the culture of North America. So how did you become influenced by Indian classical music? And when did music start becoming a career for you?
Well, I grew up at a time that was rather rich in musical influences in the U.S. I started playing guitar as a young boy, and was a great lover of the Beatles, and as you probably know, at one point George Harrison of the Beatles became fascinated with Ravi Shankar's music, Pandit Ravi Shankar, and so before we knew it, we were hearing some sitar music on some of the Beatles songs, which was the first actual sound of the sitar that I ever heard. But I wasn't really conscious of it. I was conscious only of that there was something exotic going on, but I really didn't follow that actively. But at the same time, and a few years later, Ustad Ali Akbar Khan Sahab, he also was doing a lot of work in the US, and he started a school of music in California. And so he was in residence there, and just by chance I got the opportunity to see him perform while I was going to college. And so that was my first live exposure to Indian classical music, and I fell in love with it immediately, and Ustad Ali Akbar Khan told everyone in the audience, mostly students, that he had just opened up a school in California, and any of us were invited to come to the school and learn classical Indian music with him. And I found that kind of amusing, but it also sort of made me curious. And so I spent the next summer in California studying with him, and after that I felt like I knew what my path in life was going to be, studying Indian classical music. So instead of going on with the guitar as I had been up to then, I first started playing the sitar, and then a year later I became so fascinated with the sarod that I switched to the sarod. So I really devoted myself fully to it, and some years went by, and I just had to get by, earning a living, doing odd jobs. For a while, I was a dishwasher in a restaurant. I'm happy that didn't last too long. And then I was giving guitar lessons and playing the guitar in restaurants. Little by little, I started to give some performances on the sarod, but the real, let's say, moment where I started to earn a living with music and also with Indian music was when I came to Switzerland in 1978. And then I was invited to start teaching at the Conservatory of Music in Basel.
You have been influenced by Ustad Ali Akbar Khan Sahab, but why did you want to establish an Indian classical music college in Basel?
Yes, well, actually, when I was full into my studies with Ali Akbar Khan Sahab in California, I thought I was just going to spend my life with him in California, but somehow fate had another plan for me to go to Switzerland to do some graduate work in Western music. And then I thought I was just going to be there for a year, but then they offered me a job at the conservatory to teach. And so I felt like I had to accept that, because they were not only offering me a job to teach Western music, but also Indian music. And I thought, I'm never going to get this opportunity again anywhere, so I better grab it. And so I did, but then there was a kind of a crisis, because I thought, well, how am I going to keep up my studies with Indian music? I can go spend my summers with Khan Sahab, but I started inviting Khan Sahab to come to Switzerland to teach the students that I was gathering around me, and he was happy to do that. And then a few years later, he came up with the idea that we would start a branch of the Ali Akbar College in Basel, and he would come every year to teach, and then we would also organize concerts for him in different cities in Europe. So that's how it all happened.
You are also a well-known and popular Indian classical artist in Europe, especially. So how European people are accepting the Indian classical music?
Yes, I feel like I've been very lucky, and Switzerland has been good to me. It's provided this stability of a conservatory of music, a recognized conservatory where I could do this work for now. It's 40 years, because classical Western music grew up first in Europe, and that's why it was really known as European classical music. There are many people in Europe who are they appreciate classical traditions like their music. And they value that this kind of music is nurtured in the society, and they respect it a lot. And so it was not a big jump for them to when artists from India started coming to Europe playing classical Indian music. It was not a big jump for them to say, oh, this is also a serious classical tradition, and so they accepted it, and slowly but surely a knowledgeable listening audience grew in major centers in Europe, in England, in Paris, in France, in Germany, in Switzerland, Italy. So you had these centers where people could regularly listen to Indian classical music, and following the trailblazing that maestros like Pandit Ravi Shankar and Ustad Ali Akbar Khan started off. Many artists started coming to Europe. It was actually easier for an Indian artist to come to Europe than it would be, for example, for them to come all the way to America. It's just a shorter distance. And so there was no lack of Indian musicians who wanted to come to Europe and perform.
As you are a very good friend of Maestro Swapan Chaudhuri ji, so did you get any influence by him for Indian classical music?
Oh yes, he's influenced me tremendously musically, and also as an older brother and a friend. It's been I've been so lucky to be close to him for all these years. So I learned a lot of things musically because he played with me many times in concerts, and he supported my development as a concert artist, and always was ready to give me suggestions, and also as an elder brother and a friend, navigating all the trials and tribulations of building a career in as a classical music performer. He helped me, he guided me, and he alerted me sometimes, be careful about this, and it's better you answer like this, because I faced not only the usual difficulties that any Indian artist faces when trying to build a career, but because I was not Indian, there were even more obstacles that were I was put in front of, and he saw all of that, and he helped me.
Now, my last question to you. Do you think that Indian classical music can withstand the test of time? What's your opinion about it?
Well, when you look at how long Indian classical music has developed over how many centuries and withstood so many tests, I can only be optimistic that it's going to continue flourishing, even though I think in this generation there are difficulties, and the influence of modern society and the modern pace of life has changed a lot of things, and made some real difficulties for Indian classical music students to have a full and sufficient apprenticeship with their gurus. There's almost time is moving so quickly, and the demands of building a profession and all of these things has made it very, very difficult to continue this, to maintain this Guru Shishya Parampara tradition that is so important, that the transmission of knowledge in Indian classical music is without notation. It goes from the mouth of the guru to the ears of the disciple, and that takes time. It is very time consuming, but it's necessary to build a well-rounded performer. So I'm concerned about that, but I believe that it's going to continue. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. I wish you all the best for your work here and your organization, and yes, you'll succeed.
thank you for coming in. It was a wonderful performance. I would like to thank Mr. Otto Odermatt, Mrs. Maria Odermatt, Professor Ken Zuckerman, and Maestro Swapan Chaudhuri ji for coming and sharing their experience with us. And lastly, thank you to all the audience who have been patient enough to stay with us. Thanks again, and thank you for watching the celebration of Guru Purnima in the SurSwarang Organization of World Music and Arts. Namaste.